All right, so here we're going to learn how to add and subtract scientific notation. Okay? Now, adding and subtracting scientific notations is a little different because the exponent must look the same. So let's talk about real quick how to increase or decrease the exponent. Let me do my highlighter again. To increase exponent, move decimal to the left. That's all you have to do if you want to increase it. So 5.37 times 10 to the power of 7. What if I want to make this 8? If I turn this into 8, then I need to move the decimal to the left. Make sure you add this to your notebook. Okay? If I increase it, move the decimal to the left. Okay? Same thing with negative numbers. -7 to -6. Remember, negatives are opposite. The closer a negative number is to 0, the larger it is. So -6 is larger than -7, the opposite. So if I want to increase it, I have to also move it to the left. So I can't just change this without doing this. Okay? Now, what if I want to decrease it? You got to move the decimal to the right. Let me tell you why this makes sense. Or no, it's okay. Sorry, guys. So, to decrease exponent, move decimal to the right. So I want to turn this 7 into a 6. Okay, well, I need to move this decimal to the right. I want to turn this -7 to -8. Okay, let's move it to the right. All right. Easy way for you to remember is that if I want to make my decimal smaller, I need to make my exponent larger. That's what I was going to say. Same here. If I want to make my exponent larger, I need to make my my exponent smaller. So that's a good way to remember. They're going to always be the opposite. One is getting smaller, one is getting bigger. One is getting smaller, this is getting bigger. Bigger, smaller. Bigger, smaller. Okay? We're going to skip that. And it's really simple. Add this to your notes too. Here's the rule. I want to add or even subtract. It can be adding or subtract. You can only add or subtract scientific notation if the exponents are the same. So if they're not the same, then you're going to have to do something like this. That's why it's important to know this. If they are the same, then you can go ahead and do this rule. So you're adding the numbers, the whole numbers, or subtracting whatever this middle operation is, and then you're multiplying the base to the power. And you see how there's no math that you're doing here? You're just keeping it exactly the same. You're not changing your exponent, your base or your exponent. As long as they are the same, that's why there's two m's, because they are supposed to be the same. You just keep it. The only difference you're doing, if they are the same, is adding the numbers, a plus b. Okay? This goes for adding and subtracting. So here are some practice problems, okay? Here's some examples of what I'm talking about. Okay, so what am I doing? Adding. Are my exponents the same? Yes, super easy. I just need to add the numbers. And you don't have to do this. If you want to challenge yourself, line up the decimals. If not, do it in a calculator. 10.0 times 10 to the power 4. You see how I did not change it? I did not change it. Okay? Now, you can do this. Or if you want to get rid of the decimal, you move it to the left 2 times. Or no, I'm sorry, just 1 time. Move it over 1 time. And in order to do that, I need to increase it from 4 to 5. But I will take both answers, this or this. That's fine. Okay? Yeah, I don't think it matters. Yeah. Okay. Here's another example. I'm subtracting. Okay. Are my exponents the same? Yes. So easy. Subtract. The first do the first number and then the second number, which is 0.4. 0.4 times 10 to the power 6. I don't change it. If I want to make this a whole number, I move it this way to the right. Oh, so if I do that, I need to decrease 6 to 5. Both answers are correct. All right, I see plus. I need to add. Are my exponents the same? Yep. Easy. Add the numbers. 11.1 times 10 to the power of negative 3. If I wanted to move the decimal place, this is what it would be. Both answers are correct. Here's what I'm talking about when they are not the same. All right, I'm adding. Are my exponents the same? No. So you can either change this one or this one, but I chose to change this one. So I want to move, in order to turn this 4 into a 5, like this one, I had to move it to the left. Because if I'm increasing, then I'm moving to the left. So now I can do my math. I'm adding those two numbers, and then I'm keeping my exponent, 10 to the power of 5. Simple. Here's another example. I'm subtracting. Are my exponents the same? No. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and decrease this one to negative 8 so it can match. But in order to do that, I had to move my decimal place 2 times to the left because I'm going down 2 numbers, 10, 9, 8. And then same thing, subtract the 2 numbers. You can use a calculator. Here's my answer, and I do not change my exponent. Here's another example, okay? Okay, I think you guys pretty much get it. Go ahead and practice a couple if you want. Pause the video before I move on to the answer. Here's the answer. Pause the video for you to practice. Here's the answer. Pause the video so that you can do the answer on your own. And here's the answer. Go ahead and practice this one on your own. Pause the video. And here's the answer. All right. You are ready to move on. There's another video if you're still lost, and I believe you need to do a couple more practice problems and a cool down.